Hi, my name is Castro. I'm part of the innovation team of Geosat company, and I'm here to show you both how we have enhanced our images using super resolution algorithms, and how we have validated that images have the radiometric and the radiometric values are preserved. Who we are? Geosat is a global Earth observation company. We own and operate two satellites, Geosat 1 and Geosat 2. We have more than 30 years of experience as acquiring images. We have more than 6 billion of square kilometers of imagery archive. We operate globally around the world. We provide rapid tasking and delivery, and we are starting to enhance our images, adding machine learning techniques and analytics. We also are a part of the third-party mission of the ESA, so we are European providers of very high resolution imagery. We are going to focus on Geosat 2 imagery archive. Geosat 2 was launched on 2014, so we have more than 8 years of archive. We have 10,000 imagery captured and more than 23.4 million of square kilometers. So we have a lot of data, a lot of imagery, and we want to highlight or enhance the images to solve all the markets and customer problems, applying super resolution techniques. Geosat 2 is our youngest satellite. It's a very high resolution satellite. It's an agile satellite with a pulse-ground camera with 5 spectral bands, 1 panchromatic, RGB, and near-infrared one. It has a swath of 12 kilometers and a 2 days revisited period. We are going to focus on multispectral images. We thought of how to enhance the value of our images, and we thought that upgrade the resolution, the geometric resolution that we have, that 4 meters for 2 meters, it would be a good one. So we thought about applying super resolution techniques, but we didn't know how to face the problem. So, looking papers and documents, we found out that something that's obvious, super resolution is to obtain a high resolution image from a lower resolution image, but it's not as simple as it seems, because there is not a linear solution. So we took the new tools and machine learning that give us a comfortable and reliable solution. We use machine learning techniques instead of deep learning techniques because machine learning techniques are novel, are easy to understand, need less parameterization, and are equal accurate. We try 2 different machine learning methods, random forest and string gradient boosting. Both of them are based on trees, random trees that works in different way. I mean, random forest bagging techniques backstrap the original data you are going to use to train, creating samples that are going to be compiled in a more reliable model, complex model with lower variance. And extreme gradient boosting works iteratively. One model depends on the model fit before to obtain a less biased complex model. After consulting all the SOCA about this matter, we find that more of the machine learning algorithms use only RGB images, so we tried. But we find out that we enhanced the geometric resolution by 2, but we lost the physical data, the radiometric value, and that would have very limited application for the markets or for our customers. So we focus on the multispectral images. We prepare data, we train models, evaluate it, and validate the results we obtain, following this workflow. Which data we use to train the models? We use Geosat 3A. It's a satellite very similar to Geosat 2 satellite. Both of them has a post-run camera, are in an IM platform, and the web range of the panchromatic and multispectral bands is very similar, so it was easy to compare data, and had something that we need, a 0.5 meter resolution in the panchromatic and 2.0 meters in the multispectral bands. So we want to get that resolution from our 1 meter and 4 meter geometric resolution images. So we took data for several parts of the world and we construct the models. We first construct high resolution, lower resolution pairs. So our dependent variable is the high resolution, and our independent variables are the pixels of that images varying and downscaled. We change the digital number to reference lengths to the model can be generalized to other satellites, and we train a model for each band. We do it for the multispectral and for the panchromatic. But we need to evaluate which half works better. So we use some metrics, the structural similarity index on the peak signal noise radio, with different number of estimators, 50, 100, and 200 estimator, and the one in bold had the best result, the XGBoost algorithm, and that's the ones we use. The one we use to train the model with our data. We inference our high resolution multispectral images from the low resolution multispectral images. So we pass from the Geosat original in images 4 meters geometric resolution to 2 meters resolution. And we do the same with the parent band. Now we have the super resolution model applied, and we need to apply the Pansharpened model. So knowing the relation between the pan and the multispectral, our panchromatic image is 4 times our multispectral images. We can download it and fusion the pan with the multispectral to later rescale it and combine them, applying a Grand Smith modified algorithm, and we have our Pansharpened algorithm with the pangeometry and the multispectral radiometry. So our Pansharpened super resolution product, it's based on our multispectral images, 4 meters and 1 meter resolution, applied super resolution algorithms, and later Pansharpened algorithm to obtain our final product of 0.5 meter resolution. The multispectral 4 bands are at 0.5 meter resolution. So we got it. Finally we got it. And we need to evaluate it. To evaluate it, we use as a guide, as a reference guide, how Copernicus quality data team had evaluated another Geosat products, And the validated guide used for Inigo Molina, professor of the University of Madrid, Politécnica de Madrid, that to compare another data we have already produced. So we realized that we did this comparative analysis. We analyzed the spectral profiles, and we make an intercomparison with a reference sensor that in this case is going to be Sentinel-2. The spectral profiles of our ground truth, that is going to be the multispectral Boide atmospheric corrected image with our Pansharpened atmospheric corrected super resolution image, so that, well, the square R shows that radiometric values are not influenced neither by the Pansharpened nor super resolution methods. The values are near 0.94. And for the intercomparison with the Sentinel-2 data, we choose 12 or 13 different land uses. We choose Sentinel-2 because Geosat 2 was designed taking into account the central wavelength of the Sentinel-2 to be compared more easily. So the wave rates are very similar and it's more easy to compare. The image of the Sentinel, well, the Geosat image was acquired on 12th July and the Sentinel on 15th of July. The time-lapse time between the acquisition between Geosat 2 and Sentinel-2 are 3 hours. 3 hours, I think, no, 3 hours, because it's 1 hour. Geosat 2 is acquired at 10:26 and Sentinel-2 at 11:36 minutes. So, in the comparison, we saw that the Geosat products are very similar, but there's a difference with the Sentinel-2. The spectral profiles are very similar in shape, but there is a virtual constant difference of approximately 10% that was considered it's a valid value. So now we have in our portfolio a PS3 L1D product, that's a geometric resolution by 2. PS3 is RGB only. The bundle product, that is a multispectral with 2 meters resolution and a panchromatic of 0.5 meters, is enhanced the resolution by 2, maintain the physical data, and there is also now integrated in the Copernicus program data offer. And that's this new product, so the Pansharpened super resolution one. The geometric resolution is enhanced by 8, the physical data is maintained, and is ready to be sent to the CTC team to be evaluated. The main application are going to be, well, we thought it could be dataset for machine learning algorithms because the image perception has improved. Not only the effective detection of area increased, and the sample lines and contours have improved too. So it's going to be easy to detect features. It's going to be easy for CAPA needs in precision agriculture, for smart city, and for forest management, like is said here before, like detection, biomass calculation, CO2 estimations. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Carolina. Okay, it is to stick on our Lita.
So good evening, everybody. My name is Anita. I work at the Austrian Research Center for Forests, and today I will be presenting our project AI from Trees. To start off, I want to give a quick information on our project details. So our project started in April of last year, so we just reached our 1-year milestone. And if you have worked with a lot of data, then you know a lot of effort is put into the data preparation. Hence, for today, I will not be presenting as many results, but more of what we're going to do and what we're trying to do. And I'm very happy to get some inputs on our plans. So the total runtime for our project is 3 years, and the main goal, as mentioned in the title of the presentation, is to build a model that predicts tree growth really, really good. And with tree growth, or every time I mention tree growth within the presentation, I always refer to dBH because this is the parameter where we have really a lot of data to work with. We have quite a few side goals for the project, and these arise because we have project partners in really different fields. So we have a project partner that is specialized in AI. We have project partners that are specialized in TLS, in Earth observation data, and different types of model building. So some of our side goals I will mention throughout the presentation, but to give an example, we want to compare the final AI model with a statistical model that we're deriving in parallel. Then we also want to find some algorithm to calculate single tree competition automatically from the TLS data we're obtaining. And then what is very important to me, because at the moment I'm doing the data preparation, we also want to optimize data preparation using AI techniques. To give a quick overview on our data, so the growth data we're using for the analysis is obtained as part of the ICP Forest monitoring program. If you don't know it yet, ICP Forest is a European-wide monitoring network, so similar data that we have for our analysis is probably also available in your country if you live in Europe. And you can contact the country responsible person via the ICP website. So for Austria, in total, we have 16 ICP forest plots that you can see here on the map. And we have 16 normal plots, and then we have 16 so-called core intensive monitoring plots where we just obtain more data. So for example, here we have weather stations within the stand. We have different measurements on soil, so soil temperature, soil moisture, but also chemical analyses that are done in a really high frequency, like for deposition it is 2 weeks, and also the soil water chemistry is also analyzed every 2 weeks. For my presentation, I will be focusing on the stuff that we are doing with the data from the 6 core monitoring sites, and what is really nice here is we have only single species stands, and the species we have at the stands is spruce, beech, or oak. The growth data that we have within the project we classified into 3 different types. So we have high frequency, mid frequency, and low frequency data. The high frequency data is obtained by dendrometers, so these are hourly measurements of tree diameter change, and you can really see changes in the diameter because the measurement device has a really high resolution. So for each of the 6 core plots, we have around about 10 trees that are equipped with the dendrometers, and from 2011 on, we have measurements each hour. So we have about 10 years and 60 trees where we obtain the hourly data, which is really nice. Then for the mid-frequency data, we have 20 trees per plot. So as you can see, as we go lower with the measurement frequency, we have increased the sample size. And also from 2011 on, we're manually measuring tree diameter or tree circumference, every other week. So a site manager is going there every other week and obtaining this value. For the low frequency measurements, we have approximately 100 trees per plot, so this depends on the stand structure and also the tree species. And we have those at the 6 core plots, but also the other normal plots that we have within ICP in Austria. We started collecting this data in 1994, and we do measurements every 5 years, not only on DBH, but also tree height and social status of the trees are evaluated. Other data sources we are using within the project is the TLS scanning, as I've mentioned before, as well as Earth observation data and other ICP forest data sets. And to that I will come now. So part 1 of our analysis is the high frequency growth data, so the one that we obtained from the dendrometer. And what we're planning to do is we're planning to use different model types to model the growth data. So for the AI part, we decided to use long short-term memory, so LSTM, and then for the statistical modeling, which I am doing, I will try to use different approaches, and of course, we will then compare which model is better, and also the learnings we get from the one model we want to use to improve the other model. The data input we have here, so of course the dendrometer has hourly measurements, so we need data input in a similar measurement frequency, and at the stands this is mainly the climate data we have, as well as the soil data, soil moisture and soil temperature, and as far as we are now with the analysis, we saw that really the soil temperature and soil moisture are really the great parameters to work with for now. What we can do, or at least what we are at the moment aware of that we can do, is to predict growth for individual trees. And I tried to visualize this a bit with the picture on the upper right you can see. So for each stand we have one measurement station that obtains climate data and soil data, and then we have the 10 different trees with the dendrometers, and as you can see in the picture, the trees maybe are of different size, they're in different competitions, they maybe also have different soil conditions, so it is not possible from one measurement to obtain 10 different values. So naturally the growth of the different tree individuals will also differ. But what we hope to get from our model, or the main output of this model, should be an idea of how we can predict the growth onset and the growth offset based on climate data and soil data, as well as then the duration of the growing period. And what we are also hoping to do is to identify bad and good growing years. So for this model, as I mentioned, we only use the climate data and the soil data, and this is really nice because the climate predictions are, of course, always for the meteorological data, and so we also hope to get an idea of how the distribution of good and bad growing years with climate change will maybe change in Austria. And yeah, at best I tried to sketch what our output will be. So we have the model here in black or green, and then we will have some trees at the stand that have just, so this is now one here that we're looking at. We will have some trees that overperform the model in terms of growth, and then some trees that underperform the model. Moving on to the next part, the terrestrial laser scanning. So the image on the upper left is a screenshot from a video that we did, so where you can really fly through the forest and see a lot of details in the stand, which is really interesting. And what we're trying with the terrestrial laser scanning really is we want to extract competition parameters or combinations of competition parameters automatically from this TLS data. Also, we want to compare, of course, the accuracy of the TLS to the manual measurement, not only in terms of the measurement accuracy, but also in terms of labor, because, of course, the TLS is done really quickly in comparison to if you do it manually. But then you have to pre-process the data, and that can take quite some time. What we also want to do with the mid-frequency measurements I already mentioned is we want to create a model that only takes into account the competition, and there we hope to see how far we can go really with one TLS scan. We're doing the TLS scans at all the 16 ICP4 stands, but at the 6 core plots we're doing them annually, so we will also be able to track the changes in 3